If you're a local business owner, do this quick test. Open your phone and circle every missed call that came in after hours. Now imagine those missed calls as dollar bills slipping right under the door. Every one of those was a click you paid for but couldn't turn into a customer. So let's stop that. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how to schedule your Google Ads for the hours that you actually pick up the phone. So we'll go through how to spot your peak call times inside of Google Ads, how to set a schedule that stops wasting budget after hours, and how to fine-tune your bids or call extensions for even smarter results. When you first start running Google Ads, it feels smart to keep them on 24/7. More time means more chances, right? But for service businesses, that's actually a trap. You're paying for clicks and calls while your team's asleep. The good news is Google gives you all the data that you need to fix that. You just have to know where to look. So instead of letting Google run your ads all day and night, let's find your real call windows and build your schedule around those. So to find when your peak hours are or when your ads are performing the best, the easiest way to find that is to go into Insights and Reports and then go to When and Where Ads Showed. And so on this first tab here, it's going to show you how the campaign has done on mobile phones, computers, and tablets. And so you'll see that I've done some manual bid adjustments here based on the data that I've seen. So phones do the best for this company, so we're putting more of the budget towards the phones. Tablets and computers do a little bit worse, so we're not doing that. And then if you were to click over to When Ads Showed, this is going to show you the day and time, right down, breaks it into hours on how your ads have been doing. So if you wanted to see if there's certain days, then over on the right hand side in this drop down menu, you can toggle it to day, just hour, or day and hour. So if we click on day, then it's showing us each day of the week back from 2021 up until today on how each day of the week has performed. So this company's best day, it looks like, is Monday in terms of conversion. And it still has a low cost per conversion, pretty decent conversion rate. So Mondays are pretty good. And then I can see that Saturdays and Sundays, they're still pretty good overall as well. I'm going to back this up a little bit and just do 90 days. Perfect. And so we can see that Saturdays and Sundays are the slowest. At this point, we could set the ads on a schedule and turn them off on the weekends. If I found that the campaign was spending a lot on the weekends and not bringing in any conversions, then I would do that. If you have an online booking system on your website, like this company does, it might be worth it to let it run through the weekend, at least in the beginning, and then you can look at the data and make the decision from there. But if you are strictly a phone call business and the only way people can contact you is through phone calls, then yes, you would probably want to put it on a schedule for when you can't answer the phone at night or over the weekend. It just helps save your budget and then lets you put more of the budget towards the times that you are actually opened. So I can also drill this down into just hours and see how each of the hours of the days are performing as well. And a little tip, if you just put your campaigns live and they've only been running for a couple of weeks and then you want to see if you should be putting it on a schedule, don't jump to conclusions. Ideally, you want at least 2 to 3 months worth of data to see trends and results, especially in the beginning when you first launch your campaign. So if it has just launched, just give it a little bit more time before you start analyzing this type of data. So let's assume that this client is they're a brick and mortar 9 to 5, and the only way that you can contact them is through a phone call. Whether it's a phone call from the website or phone calls directly from the ad, it is only phone calls. They have no online booking system, no form fills. And so if they are closed on the weekends, then I would probably want to put it into a schedule. And in order to do that, you come over to the left-hand tab here under Audiences, Keywords, and Content. And then second from the bottom is Ad Schedule. And so then here you can edit ad schedule, add an ad schedule. You can select which campaign if you have multiple campaigns going. and then you can put it on certain days. So if you found that Fridays are just eating up a lot of your money and you can't answer the phones on Friday for whatever reason, you can shut it fully off on Friday and just have it run Mondays through Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays. You can kind of play around with it and do what you want. So this company is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So we can set a schedule for that exact time that the ads would only run from 9 till 5. And then you would just hit save. Research does show that 25 to 28% of calls to local businesses go unanswered, and most callers who hit voicemail are just going to hang up. And so that's just money loss. So by putting it on a schedule, you're making sure that you can answer the phone more frequently and you're not just wasting your money on phone calls coming in when you're not open. I do also want to mention that these schedules use your account's time zone. So make sure that you are setting everything to the proper time zone. When you first initially set up the account is when you would have chosen your time zone. Now, another option, if you do have a online booking system or an online form fill that people can get to after hours, but you only answer the phone during certain hours, is that you can put your call extension on a schedule as well. So if you go to assets again, and then click on the call asset. So this phone number is, when the ad shows, it shows underneath the ad, and then people can click directly on that without even getting to your landing page and calling you. So you can put this on a schedule as well into edit. And same way you can put it, just like I have for them, they have Mondays to Fridays. So that call extension is only showing from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So throughout the day, the call extension is showing. They can call through the website, book online. Once 5 p.m. hits on the weekdays or on weekends, that call extension no longer shows. People can still click through to your website and call you that way though, so some calls may still come in. But if you find that the majority of your conversions are coming directly from the ad, then putting the call extension on a schedule might be a good idea as well, just to save a little bit of money. So once you do have the schedule set up, you can then, once it's run for a little bit, you can start fine-tuning the schedule as well. So this is another client. I've come into his schedule and I can see the performance on the days that we have it opened. And so you can see this bid adjustment category. So I can make manual bid adjustments similar to what I did in the other account with the devices based on the days or the hours that perform well. Wednesdays are a little bit higher in cost per conversion, so I may want to decrease the bid adjustment on that one and spend a little bit less money on Wednesdays, and then Google will allocate a little bit more of my budget to the other days. Mondays seem really good. The one thing I will mention is if you are using smart bidding like Maximize Conversions or Maximize Clicks, Google does this automatically as it's running your campaign. So you might notice that one day it underspends your daily budget and then another day it doubles your daily budget. And that is Google making those automatic bid adjustments and optimizations. So you don't necessarily need to do it as well because Google will kind of overwrite it all if you are running smart bidding strategies like Maximize Clicks and Maximize Conversions. Even if you are using smart bidding though, I still would recommend doing some sort of schedule to shut them off when you can't answer the phone, because Google doesn't know your hours. So if it still sees that it's getting a lot of impressions and clicks, it will still spend your money in those off hours. It's not just going to see that you're not getting as many conversions and shut it off completely. It is still going to run the ads during that time. It may just scale it back and then put more effort towards the times that you're busier. But it does still help to save money, to turn off the ads completely and just not spend anything during the time where on weekends when you're closed or after hours when you're closed. So once you have set the schedule, check back every few months or so. You'll start to see patterns and then you can adjust your bid adjustments based on those patterns. A lot of businesses, it changes with seasonality or promotions that go on as well, customer behavior. So you do want to keep refining based on what the data tells you. But that data doesn't need to be over the span of a week or two. Give it a about 2 to 3 months before you start making tweaks. So check back every few months on your schedules that you've done as well. So that is how you can show your ads when you can win the customer and pause them when you can't. And by aligning your campaigns with your peak call times, you'll stop wasting budget on missed calls and start maximizing the moments that actually matter. And now that your schedule is dialed in, the next step is to make sure that the phone calls that are coming in are high quality. So check out this video here on how to get better quality leads through your Google Ads.